Alright, we're looking at natural gas again. The last time I made one of these videos was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. Could have been a week ago. Yeah, I was long from somewhere down here, I think. I'd got in at a great level, and then I'd sold here when we touched the white channel line almost exactly this point. So I caught it pretty much perfectly, this move, and made a lovely gain on my account. The only issue since then is everything I gained. Of course, I managed to lose. I was hopping around different assets. I was asset hopping. There was a bit of FOMO going on. I tried getting into silver, into the S&P 500. I think I took a trade in oil, and I was trying to get back into natural gas. I saw the breakout, and I was buying this, and I was panicking that it was going to shoot up and never come back inside this channel, and it did, and I got stopped out, and I'm long from what kind of level is this on my tiny account? 22.42. We're back inside the channel. We're at a big support, but we're below key daily VWAPs now. If we go into the daily, you can see this is the anchored VWAP from down here. We are now back below that. We've breached the 22.40 level. We've hit the 14 moving average band. We've hit this big important support. That's a daily line for some reason or other. I've made it quite thick. It must mean something. And I'm long. So what's the prospects? I would add in my defence, I've been away from home. I've been on holiday, and I can't just not have trades on. So I was trading off my phone. Always a bad idea. Never a good idea, unless you're working to preset levels that you've actually bothered to doing your analysis at home in a patient manner on your actual computer. Just gazing at your phone and being like, I'm panicking a bit here, maybe I should go long, maybe I should go short, I'm bored, I don't have any trades on, that looks okay. Bad idea. Bad idea. But in any case, let's go out to the monthly on natural gas. It still looks good. It looks good. The fact that we went down to this 1970 level, which was also the test of this, if you're into that sort of thing, monthly down candle before the up move. So we tested that. It was also the 94.1 of the long-term real range. And I still say it looks better than not. It looks better than not. I think we need to test at least 2660, and I think in the end we're coming for 3980. On the monthly, that's what it looks like to me. The weekly, obviously we had the up week last week. This week we went up and then down. We did close slightly up. If you look, the open of the candle was at 2255. The close was at, oh hang on, wait a minute, no, because it gaps up. That's actually slightly a down candle, but it's not the end of the world. The body's held. We've got a weekly pivot there. Suppose I just put that on. That's a weekly pivot. You can see that. That was an important level going through that doji. On the weekly, so yeah, we're still above the 5. We turned down at the 14s on the moving averages. We've yet to have sort of a significant break up and breakout. It still looks quite promising, in my view. The quarterly looked better. The weekly looks not so good. The daily, out of all of them, the daily looks worse. Let's be frank. This is looking like maybe we've had a move on RSI up close to the bear turn zone. When we're in bear markets, the kind of areas we expect to turn. We have the negative divergence on the composite price volume trend. Left shoulder head, right shoulder, you could argue. We pop on, that's now the shoulder channel. It's getting a little bit messy on here. Oh no, not weekly. So weekly segments, that means they're probably important segments. What's this red line? That's a weekly. Horizontal line, that's a daily. That's a daily. It's a monthly rectangle. Let's get rid of that, we know about that. That's a daily. Oh, they're both dailies. Oh, fine, let's get rid of one of them then, just for the sake of tidying things up a little bit. And back down to the 4 hour. So basically, with the hope, I suppose, is that this is the low here, and we're going to now challenge 2660, as I was talking about earlier. That would be the expectation in there. And in terms of the 4 hour, we're in the bull area reversal zone. On composite price volume trend, we've come back into sort of the low area. We're in the low area of the extremity of the move. We've undercut this low. We've come into this pivot. So we'll see. We'll see. Silver. You'll note we had the wedge and breakout on RSA, the divergences on composite price volume trend, head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and we've had a good move up. Silver's looking good, silver's looking strong on the daily. As long as we stay above, I suppose, this ascending yellow channel. Yep, head, left shoulder, right shoulder. No sign of divergences. We're going to come into this area up here, it looks like. So silver is a long, but you'd have to go onto a lower time frame and find a good entry. Try your luck on a reversal, you know. Flat tops break up, flat bottoms break down, so they say. If you've got a flat bottom, you might have a mental breakdown. Dollar doesn't look good. Back test and drop on this descending channel line. We're under 50 on RSI. On the long term, you can see we've had sort of a topping out and now we're falling down. It doesn't look great, so dollar could potentially be coming down, hence silver's going up. That would also push things like natural gas up. Pound dollar, so as I was talking about whenever it was the other week, descending channel, divergences, negative reversal, positive divergence, channel breakouts, and up we went, and that's coinciding with that down move in the dollar. Yep, look at that, the touch on the line of angle, and then dropping off in cocoa. Meandering around. I was wondering if all these news articles that are being released telling us about all the heavy metal contamination and poisonings in our chocolate is to help suppress consumer demand in the short term. No doubt it will come out at some point that it's not as bad as we feared, or a little bit of lead is good for your brain. Well, maybe not that, but you know. And yeah, poor old chocolate. And I'm a chocolate lover. I try to avoid sweets and biscuits and cookies and that sort of thing, but I do feel like a bit of chocolate or a nice mug of hot chocolate. It's certainly supposed to be good for your cardiovascular system, and for your brain, But it's fanning around at the moment. It's just. I mean, look at it. That actually looks a lot worse on the weekly than on the daily. That looks a lot worse. Whoa. Oh, fine. Let's find the pivot. There we go. And then the midpoint of all that would be about there, I suppose. Yep. Close enough for me. No, that's the pivot. And then let's find the mid-range of this. There it is. So we divided that up in a series of halves and a series of pivots based on the candles. And that's on the weekly, so that's pretty good. It fits, it's worth throwing on. That's not a traditional thing to do, but leave that. Actually, let's go out to the monthly. Yeah, I mean, either we're sort of, you know, flagging out and maybe forming like a pennant or something for some stupendous up move that will double the price of poor old chocolate again, or we are going to do something like that and tumble back down, and then maybe from here we'll have, you know, who even knows? And that would be very pretty. Let's see if that plays out. So let's leave that on there and see what happens. Indeed. What's this? Anyway, yeah, the daily's not quite sure what to do. We've come down from the high at 11,680. Big discounts actually. I mean, cocoa is still more than double what it was a couple of years ago, or even a year ago, and it's come down 43%. We could be getting a sort of a bowl, cup and handle kind of action here. Well, you did see a decisive break above 7295, I think. 7295 to, yeah, 7295. Crude oil. It's rude, it's crude and it's vulgar, it's oil. Yeah, rather like natural gas, we've made the low, we had the bull candle, we went up, we closed down ever so marginally. We need to get it back above this key pivot at 76.14 on the weekly. The daily, yeah, again, it's not looking super good. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder potentially with an inverted head and shoulders. Recoverable, I suppose. Look at the 4 hour. Yeah. Like natural gas, it looks better on the 4 hour. The 4 hour's looking good. Nasdaq, I mean, there's your weekly reversal. There's exactly the weekly reversal. I mean, look at this, at the fib pivot as well. That's a big monthly fib pivot. We stopped here. You know, this was a stopping off point. This was a cap. This was a pivot. This was the rounding top here. The doji formed exactly above that, and then we closed at it. We spiked down. We closed above it, and now we fucking shot up. And it's a bit late in the day to be trying to get long. I mean, this thing could proceed up in a bit continuing monster rally, but you've had a what's that? Let's go from the pivot. 18,360, 19,560. Wanting a 1,200 point move in a week, effectively. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 2 weeks, let's call it. So what it does now, I mean, we could see just the most, you know, just spiky price action from my excellent drawing. You know, or we could see moon. It could moon. But the best place to take positions is gone, is what I'm saying on the longer time frames. Oh, and look at that on the daily. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that beautiful? These deep wicks, though. You would have been trying to do the right thing. You could have definitely been trying to do the right thing trade-wise. And then it would have just wicked you out. How do I get rid of this? How do I? Does that make it go away? No. What does that do? Ay, caramba! How do I get rid? How do I get you to? Ooh, be like pinned to the bloody. How do I get you down here as like a? No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. No. Can I undo that? No. Oh dear, well I've lost rock and roll. Never mind. Fucking hell, Pro Real Time. Come here. Reduce panel, maximize this panel, move panel up. Where's me rock and roll gone? Where's it gone? Bruh. What's this? Oh. Oh, I see. What's this? Oh. What does that do? It's brought rock and roll back, but I mean... anyway, so yeah, Nasdaq's. This is the issue now. All the good places to get long have gone, and now we're up thousands of points, and we're at a resistance level. Could it continue? Well, yeah. Could it chop around for ages? Well, yeah. Could it plummet down into the depths of hell? Well, yeah. But these are this is not an ideal place to do anything really, except I mean you might take out a few small cells if you were bearish. But is there good reason to be bearish? Maybe. I mean, maybe not. I'm going to err on the side of not. Semis, again, big set of strength in semiconductors. They were sort of, showing the way down. Now they're showing the way up. Not an awful lot to say about semiconductors. Rates, bonds, yeah, rates are falling again. This was your rising rates, and now it looks like they're falling again. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. All I see now everywhere I go is head and shoulders. Yeah, that's a nice pivot. This whole area. If we can break up out of here, then we're probably going to challenge higher. And I think that's the story. So in summary, maybe go down on a lower time frame, get long oil, gas, stocks. Dollar looks bad, but after a bad week you often have a good week. In summary, that's it. Pound yen. Let's have a look at the pound yen on the daily. We've not looked at that. Yeah, it's just imitating the price action in. And again, we're at resistance. So yeah, you could try a few small sells. It looks like we're going up in all these other asset classes though, and the broad market. So there we go.